Hi-ho, neighborinos. This is like episode 17 or 18 or something of the solar power reality show installation series. Looky here. Look at what we have here. We finally did it. Ain't going nowhere. We got 4 lag bolts, 1/4 inch, 3.5 inches long, going in on the 4 corners, into the studs, 16 inches apart. This sucker here weighs close to 90 pounds. Took 3 of us to lift it, get it on there. We got 2 number 1032 screws going into the top here to stabilize it. There is a steel din rail welded to the back of this thing about midway, and that wedges down into that angle on the mounting bracket that we lag bolted into the studs behind the wall. And it's not quite exactly where I envisioned it originally. I envisioned it about middle of the wall. I'd probably, if I had to do it over again, maybe I'd lower it down about 4 or 5 more inches. But I think this will work. It's not the perfect location, but it's close enough. We still have the ability to run conduit underneath our windows over to our battery chargers. Right over here. Let's see if you can see through that. There's our battery chargers right over there. We got 2 60 amp Xantrex 48 volt battery chargers, and we have one 48 volt 4500 watt Xantrex XW hybrid inverter slash charger. I'm not sure exactly how I got roped into buying those chargers, because I bought the charger combo with this for that reason. I think it has something to do with the amount of battery capacity I wanted, requiring additional charger capacity, and maybe it was the PV capacity I had as well. I would have to go back over the calculations and discussions to really kind of get into the engineering decisions that went into that. But the bottom line is, it's mounted, it's in place. The fuse box that this will be feeding through the 60 amp breaker is, I don't know if you can see this, but we have a 9 fuse circuit breaker panel with a 55 amp 2-pole main, and currently that is fed from our utility. But when we're done, what we'll probably do is take the 55 amp 2-pole breaker that's outside that feeds to this panel to its 55 amp 2-pole breaker. Yes, there's 2 breakers in series. One is by the meter, one is integrated into the panel. We'll take the outdoor breaker, refeed that into here now, come out of here through our new 60 amp 2-pole breaker into the fuse box through its 55 amp 2-pole breaker. Now I know that seems like there's redundancy in there, and also some sizing questionability or questions that could come about. We are considering increasing the circuit breaker size at the meter from its current 55 amp size to 60 amps. Not so much for any code reasons, other than A, it would be nice for consistency, and B, it's a new system. Maybe we should have all new equipment. I don't know that I want a 30, 40, 50-year-old breaker protecting my brand new equipment. I've tested 50-year-old circuit breakers. I know what they can be not capable of sometimes, and it's a small price to pay for that extra protection and peace of mind. But we do have one brand new 2-pole breaker, and I've elected to put it on the output of the inverter rather than the input of the inverter. when all said and done, we'll probably replace the one on the input side as well. It just seems to make too much sense to me not to do it. We still have to figure out where to mount the main control panel, the little glorified thermostat looking thing. I'm considering right here possibly. Put my beautiful wife right here, and maybe put the control panel right here possibly, or maybe here. Don't yet know. Have a couple days at least to think about that. I think if you look at the previous episodes, you'll see our DC distribution box and some of the other remaining boxes yet to be mounted. Some of those we're going to hold off until the last minute because of the way we plan on pulling wire and conduit. It doesn't make sense to mount the box because we would just have to remove it to get the conduit and the wiring into place. So we're nearing the end of some of the things that we can do in advance before I get a whole crew out here to help. I wanted to get as much of the I don't know what to call it, easier stuff out of the way before I get the heavy lifters in here, because that would be that much less my great talent will have to bother themselves with. They can focus on the things that they're really good at and let me do the easy stuff like mounting boxes and things like that. Anyway, we're getting there. One of these days soon though, we're going to have to put those panels on the roof, and that's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Till next time.